just roll with it then.
Here we are again. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. It's been happening. How's your
Sun
week?
is rising here in the Peruvian Amazon.
Very good. What time you got there?
It's probably like 6:45, something like that, 6:30, something.
Right and early.
Beautiful morning. Probably be a hot day. Get there though. See how it turns out.
Very good.
Yeah,
Where have you been?
retreat stuff. Um, yeah, working with ayahuasca, the Mayakaya, as you're familiar with.
Yeah.
Wrapped up another retreat. Took the staff out to dinner last night. Had a great discussion.
Yeah,
A lot
cool.
of other people moving through the restaurant. People I've known that are now doing things on their own and bringing people down to Peru and sharing the vision and of this whole ayahuasca movement.
Yeah, very good. It's growing.
Fortunately, yeah, it does seem to be.
And there's more people traveling now.
Yeah, stock market's doing well.
Everything else, not so much.
Everything else, not so much.
It's tough. Yes, yes, yes. Interesting times. What were you saying about Lebanon?
Oh gosh, yeah. Well, apparently the borders are getting quite shorter. The Lebanon is shrinking. I don't
Yeah.
know if there's anything left of Gaza. Perhaps that's all gone at this point.
I don't think there's much.
There used to be a lot in the news, a lot in the feeds, and now there's like nothing. So I don't know. Maybe you just have to specifically look for it. But yeah, it's interesting the level of like corruption in the world or injustice, if you will, while people are standing by idly. There seems to be some sort of a consciousness shift and a movement towards doing something about that. Um, we'll see where it goes. I know people just are really addicted to their comforts and having a hard time getting out there and making changes in this way or trying to figure out ways to create more sovereignty in their lives. But it is the answer to these issues.
It's the
But it
only
takes a lot of
answer.
self-responsibility.
Exactly. A lot of people don't want to do that.
No, most people aren't willing to put in the effort it takes in order to be self-reliant on all of their energetic needs.
No, I don't think people have a clue that that even exists. That's an option.
Right? Isn't that interesting? Like
Yeah.
ayahuasca. I didn't think it was even an option until I drank it. I was like, oh, look at this.
Mm.
There's something in the scope and practice of humanity's options. And it would be good to share that message with others.
That's
Same way with sovereignty and all this other stuff. It is possible to create a life for yourself outside of the controlling nature of all the toxins and pollutants and pesticides. And it's just taking that step. Maybe freeing yourself of like those city energies, because I think that might bring people down, not realizing that there's anything outside of that. But look at this. I mean, geez, it's like just like a jungle around me. There's food growing everywhere. So I'm usually cutting it back, guava trees, different sorts of fruit trees that is just too much going on. So yeah, put yourself in an environment, I would say, in which it's more feasible.
absolutely. Get out of the cities. get back on the land. It's a commitment. It's what I've started to see. People just are not open-minded enough. They don't realize there's another way. Or
Now they complain about like the way things are within a government regulated system and yet participate in that, not realizing that they're just could step out of it.
they don't realize there's another way. I think a lot of people aren't even willing to explore their own consciousness. They don't even realize that that's an option. And also there's a lot of fear in doing that, especially where I am. People have no idea that there's other ways.
Right? They're locked into that energetic
Yeah.
grid that's just keeps in low frequency. But it's everywhere. It's everywhere. But yeah, mostly in the cities. You know, an interesting way to like kind of separate it and just try to like create a vision or a division within it and what it looks like. Um, that Italian guy, what's his name? Fassini Barachi. He's
Oh,
one of those conspiracy guys.
Santos,
Yeah.
Bonacci, but yes.
Anyway, he has a lot of wonderful information for sure. But one of the things recently I heard him say was about one of the parables in the Jesus story, where Jesus is walking on water, right? And he's like one of the guys in the boat was like, "Yeah, you want to?" He's like, "I want to walk on water too." He's like, "All right, try it, walk on water." And the guy started walking on water too. And he looked around. He's like, "I'm walking on water. I'm walking on water." And then he started having doubts about it and getting fear about it, and he started sinking into the water again. And so, like, what he was like looking at this, like, this is just about sovereignty and maritime law, commercial law. Here he is walking on top of the water. The water is all commercial jurisdiction. I mean, quite literally, in the literature of law, that's what it is. It's admiralty, it's federal, it's the democracy. All that stuff's in the water. You know, and then you have the land, and then Jesus just walked above it. He's like, you can just rise above all of that control grid, all of that commercial control that everybody's locked into that they don't see out of. It's like the fish, they don't know they're in water. It's like they're like, but there's like a whole nother world outside of that water world. I don't know. I thought it was interesting. And then the guy was like, he got out of the system, but then all the fear started drawing him back in. So I think that's like one of the powers of like that Christ consciousness approach. It's just like, a belief, right?
Right.
You got to have a belief in that system. It's all based on belief. It's like even taxes. It says like, if you believe this to be true, sign here. It's a belief system. You can be like, well, no, I don't believe that. Because that's like a religious right, which is also one of our fundamental rights. And so, like, there's all kinds of ways to opt out of the system, but people just don't believe that those are the exit points. Uh, they don't believe that there is like disclosure in front of their faces about what they're signing up for. So, yeah, these are big issues. But maybe it's the education. Maybe it's the fact that it's just educated out of us. There's no inkling of it within any of the primary grades.
I think it is the education. We're not taught these things, and we're taught the opposite, to be part of the system, to be a cog in the whole thing. Yeah, 100%. No one can see outside of that. So ingrained in
That's
it
why
that,
everyone's so frustrated. Right?
wow, it's hard to break free, especially when you know you're relying on a wage and you have children and this and that. How do you break free and then create abundance and income in that way on outside of the system? It's a whole way of being. It's a whole understanding of life. Um, and judging by the people I'm around, they're just not even open to that, not even within themselves to start with. She said.
Well, isn't it an extreme answer? I mean, when we apply it practically, is it going to be like an Amish community? They're doing it. They're successful.
It seems to work really well, and I'm sure a lot of people will be quite happy to live like that. You know, it's all the simple principles of life, but you have to give up a lot of luxuries, uh, and people are addicted to making money. It's a major aspect. And it's fair, you need to make money, but you need to survive. But people want to have all the flashy things.
I guess it's really like, I mean, if you got to do it, you got to do it, right? Like, I think this whole revisiting the idea of like a family estate is seems to be the logical answer in the immediate term.
Yeah.
I feel like the way that I could make that work in a secure fashion is like to get like that big manor, like whatever it is, like in whatever in Eastern Europe or Western Europe or wherever those places are, that you have your little ranch on the side, you have your pasture, your barn for your cows and your goats and everything and your chickens and all that ready to go. But it's also a place where your family can like thrive for many generations. It's not built like where I'm at in the jungle. I'm in lowland jungle here. It's like I'm fighting the elements constantly. It's just everything's in a state of decay. So, or growth, you're just cutting back the jungle while everything else you build is just like falling into ruin around you. So that's not a very sustainable model for multi generations. Maybe, but it doesn't seem so.
Mm, no. Not unless you can maintain that constantly.
Yeah, it's a daily thing. It never ends all
It's
year round. Multiple people
part of
working
living.
at maintaining.
It's part of living. It's part of life.
I guess that is.
Takes constant maintenance. You got to keep weeding that garden every day. It's just nature.
I guess I'm in a good situation where I have a garden to maintain. Perhaps I haven't achieved all those sustainability goals here, but it's a place that provides more opportunity to be successful in that area
Hmm.
than like say Melbourne,
Yeah,
someplace.
for sure. Exactly. Exactly. There's opportunity there. At least you have land, a big estate, uh, as opposed to others who have just a very small portion of the area.
This is a great growing climate.
Oh, it'd be amazing there. Everything just grows crazy. But you got bananas, cacao, sorts of things.
Coconuts, yucca.
Oh
I
yeah.
don't know. I think this is the Garden of Eden. I think this is the original Garden of Eden. It's Peru.
You think
It's my
so?
conclusion. All the genetics of all the different vegetables and fruits around the world are all traced to Peru. This is the origin of them all. All the potatoes are from Peru, but not from like Europe. Wheat, corn, tomatoes, all that stuff started here.
Really? Is that a fact?
Yeah. I think this was like the genetic experimentation farm,
It's the
and then it
first time
just kind
I've
of like
heard that.
went wild around the place from here.
Is that why there's so much activity from the stars?
And then you have really interesting things here. Fruits where you don't see anywhere else in the world, or roots like maca that grow like above the tundra line, way up the mountains.
Yeah.
That don't really grow anywhere else that I know of in the world.
Mm. Yeah, interesting. Did you see that the US announced that there is such a thing as aliens, extraterrestrials? They announced this, what,
Yeah.
yesterday or the day before?
Oh, they've been kind of doing soft disclosure on that for a long time,
They
last
have,
couple of years.
they have, but there's a website they officially put out now that that's what's,
Oh,
yeah.
that sounds official.
Wow, yeah,
So the US government says that officially there's aliens?
yeah,
Really?
yeah.
They got them all mapped out, what kinds there are and everything.
Wow,
Sounds like,
they didn't go into any of that. Did not
or
go into
who they got working for them, or which ones
they,
are in control of our government.
they did not go into specifics, though. How deep they walk among us? No, they did not. No. Wait till they run
Yeah, I don't
through
know. I'm
there.
pretty skeptical of that narrative, I guess you can tell, but
Ah, Casey. Why are you skeptical of this? You used to be
because
all
like
about it. You used to be
I
all
know I
about
was. I was. Like I've seen stuff in the sky that in this country that I've never seen anywhere else in the world.
it, right?
Stuff that makes you know that that's not the level of technology, at least that we're aware of, going on. So is that visitors from other worlds? Well, if the government says it is, it's probably 100% not the case.
No,
Whatever the government says, gotta
no.
go. Because like that's what it was. Like once the government started saying that there was aliens, it's like when I really started questioning the narrative.
Hmm.
Because before that, I was like, yeah, aliens, of course. And then the government was like, there's aliens. I was like, maybe there's not aliens.
Right? Right. Can't trust
So
them.
what are the alternatives to that?
Don't know.
Interdimensional.
Well, yeah, well, I mean, we're interdimensional beings. It's still, to me, that's beings from other worlds. Put it all in the same bracket there. They're prepping us for some form of false alien invasion, I'd say.
Probably opening demonic portholes into other dimensions
I'd
and
say it'd be more like holographic.
more like what?
Holographic.
Oh, well, initially, right? But
Yeah,
are we
cause
going
a
to be
bit of
shopping at the
chaos.
same convenience stores as aliens now?
Well, might look up in the sky and see all these ships. And
Yeah, see, that's just, I don't think that's possible.
I
Like
don't,
that narrative
it
that the
seems
government's pushing right
far-fetched.
there. I mean, we can talk about like what we think aliens are to ourselves, like interdimensional beings, but the narrative being presented by the government is not that at all. They're saying like from other worlds and other rocks floating around.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh, they've developed their technologies.
that's right.
So
That's exactly what
that's the thing
they're
I
saying.
don't
They're just
believe.
from deep space. But then when you start to really dive into what the fabric of it is, it's like, yeah, multiple realities occurring. That's where my mind really just explodes.
So that's why I can't take any credibility with it at all. It's like this is why I can't. Yeah, it's like anything that I see on television. It's to me, it's such pure theater at this point. It's like it is real. Like I don't know, at least it seemed like when I was a child that it seemed more like professionally presented, at least some sort of objective elements within the information that was being presented.
Think so. Isn't that what
Yeah.
JFK was going to release? This whole alien disclosure thing? And then they
No, he wanted to get us back onto the gold standard.
get us away from the banking system. Maybe it's both.
Yeah, usually people get shot pretty quickly when they try to get you off of the old banking system, like Gaddafi, right?
Exactly. Exactly like Gaddafi. Paint him out to be a warlord or whatever.
Yeah, it's usually within like 48 hours. Like any sort of like they get away like these oppressing governments apparently, whether they are or not, who knows?
Mm.
They they start talking about the banking system and it's like the whole place is shut down within like 2 days. It's crazy how fast it happens.
Yeah. I mean, I'd love to speak to people from, I've never spoke to anyone from Libya before, but I'd love to know what they thought of Gaddafi and what it was like living there during his reign. I don't think it was
Wow, wow.
I don't think it's as oppressive as the media makes it out to be.
I mean, if you were to like interview the people while Gaddafi
Yeah,
was in power, they might have had a more negative outlook on it. But if you were to interview the people now, they would probably say he was amazing
I'd say so.
because the way
Yeah.
the state that the country's in now is completely ruined
Yeah.
since they took him out. So the people are probably, or it's like
It wasn't
Libya,
so
right?
bad.
It's like they're selling, it's destroyed. It's just warlords fighting. They're selling slaves in the street. And where it was like a country that was amazingly prosperous before, and the people really liked the leader there. So
Totally. I mean, they had free healthcare, free education. If you wanted to buy a house, it'd give you interest-free loans, also give you a Kickstarter. You get married, you get a certain X amount of money. It's a lot of perks for his people. If you wanted to go study abroad, he'd also facilitate that.
he's promoting a lot of new agricultural projects in the country, like rerouting the river systems and canals
Yeah. Yeah.
throughout northern Africa, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, can't have that. Can't have that. No.
No, no, no. Can't be thriving, of course.
And I grew up just like thinking he was just this awful person.
Well, that's the picture we were painted. Same here. It's a massive dictator. But I don't know. I didn't live through it.
Yeah, but what does it take to push people over that line, right? That's what I found with the sovereignty movement. Like, people hear about it, they're like, oh, what form do I fill out? Where's the document? Or what government agency do I talk to about this? They don't realize that like sovereignty is really just about you have to create all this yourself, create your reality, create yourself, your own documents, give
Yeah.
notice.
Well, you got to be a certain person who's willing to do all the work and learn it.
It's almost like a catalytic moment though in people's lives that wake them up to like sovereignty. It's like they've had it and they're not going to take anymore. And so they just dive into it. Um, maybe that's what it takes with all this other stuff too. It's it needs to be a catalyst in people's lives where they're just like not going to take it anymore, the abuses or whatever. But what people's solution is violence, and that's unfortunate because I don't feel that's necessary.
No, it's not going to get you very far, that's for sure.
Well, I mean, it might have a more positive outcome, maybe like tens or 20s, 30 years down the road, 50 years down the road.
Yeah.
But I don't think any of that's necessary. But I think that's what the government wants too. They want a violent reaction because they can handle violence. They know how to deal with that.
They can control that. They don't know how to handle people being sovereign and just taking their power back and standing outside the
That's
system.
right.
There's nothing they can do about that.
No, because they're all dependent on the same rules.
Mm.
Like they all have to follow the same rules. We have to follow those rules. They have to follow those rules. So we just need to make them work for us because that's the proper relationship.
Exactly. To invert it.
But we're like unconscious at the wheel.
Oh, it's education. Imagine if this shit was taught at some, we had a different curriculum, different education system where we teach sovereignty to children from a young age. And this is the way it really works. Very
All
different.
right, let's explore that next time.
Okay. Education. How do we educate the youth? Write this down.
Conscious communities, they have to be created.
Yep.
I'd recommend in places where they would be most likely be successful. I think location is a huge part of that.
We will see what's on the other side of this current world pandemonium that's about to happen. All right, brother.
That's
See you soon.